This is Gonzo with Growing with Gonzo, and I'd like to today. First, we're just going to give you a tour of an area that used to be in production. We used to have a lot of things going on out here, but kind of it went fallow. Nothing was planted here, nothing was done with it for a while I was deployed. So a lot of things grew up, and I had to come in here and kind of beat down some weeds. But I'm slowly reclaiming some of this area, so I'm going to take you on a little tour and let you know what we've got going on. So we started, this is kind of our new composting project, and I basically compost everything. Cotton rounds, toilet paper rolls, yard waste, yard refuse, weeds, everything, kitchen scraps, everything goes into the compost pile. So I'll walk over here. This is one of the new ones. All it is 4 pallets, and I start with a bottom layer. If you can get, there's all of our cardboard boxes. We used to have two big recycling bins that we take out every week, and a lot of it was cardboard, but you can compost your cardboard, so everything goes in. But I basically put a big, I guess you could call it a biologic sponge, um, that soaks up all of the basically kitchen juice, all the stuff um, from the kitchen and just all the waste. So I put a big layer of straw. I mainly use straw because it's readily available, or if I have grass clippings and I'm raking leaves, all that stuff will go in kind of as a bottom layer. I don't do any turning of my compost piles, so I pile all that stuff in, and then throw on the nitrogen stuff like the kitchen waste and all that stuff in here, and then I cover it up with a little bit more straw or whatever kind of yard refuse that I have available. So I'll take you over to my other pile, which is all this straw on top of it. You'll see it's all capped off because there was a big pile of nitrogen rich material from the inside of the house, and I capped this off, and I'm letting it sit, and it'll probably, I won't touch this until, let's see, I finished this pile off at the end of July, so I won't touch this for another 6 to 8 months. I'll let this finish composting and aging, probably 6 to 8 months, maybe a year, and we'll get working on that pile. I don't know if you can get a shot of, we have a compost thermometer, and that goes in deep into your pile, and whew, here we go. And so I just put that deep in the pile, and so right now you can see it's a little over 120 degrees. All right, so now I'll show you kind of what I've got going on in this area. Like I said, I missed really planting because I wasn't here, so I missed getting things ready for spring. Um, and by the time I got back home, it was really too hot to do a lot of things, so I'm focusing on fall. But I was able to get some beds made. These are sunflowers. They're a mix of Hopi Dye sunflower, Autumn Beauty, which is another rare sunflower, and a cucumber variety sunflower. So all of these are in here. You get in here, you can see that their little heads are starting to come up a little bit. So I think I have a little bit of time. I think I can get one more. I already have some sunflower transplants ready, so I think I can have those ready for fall. And basically, I just use these because they're pretty. I'll probably do some cut flowers with them, and then I'll leave a lot of these just for the birds because we have a lot of birds that come and visit this area. And then just a blackberry plant that I had planted a couple years ago, or I guess maybe not a couple years. Has it been 2? Yeah, about 2 years ago. Um, but like I said, really hadn't done much. This has kind of been a little bit of a neglected area, so I'm getting back to it. mulched this area with straw, and thank goodness because it's been really hot and dry. We've had 2 good days of rain, so I'm thankful for that. This is another area that has a mix of sunflowers. This is, I think this is Apache Blackberry. It's a semi-erect variety. And then in here, I had like one lonely lettuce plant, and actually it's been doing pretty well down in there because the sunflowers have helped shade it. And so I've got some mix of, there's a couple okra plants in here, and there's also a couple random sunflowers that are coming up in this bed. There's more sunflowers here. There's a couple eggplant, some more okra, and then I have a fig tree. I can't remember what variety this is, but fig tree and some okra in this bed. We'll move on down to figs, more okra, and then over here I have some transplants because I was going through some of my old seed, and I had a bunch of old seed that I really wanted to see what I would get germinated. And there were some tomatoes. Most of that old seed was tomato. I had a few newer packets of tomato seed. This is just a little. So some of them you can see out of that old seed. Some of them did actually germinate, which I was surprised. So we've got some tomato. These are just some more okra plants. I think it's a mix of Alabama Red and another variety that I can't think of off the top of my head. Some more little tomato plants that are kind of coming up. And now in this bed, I have another fig tree that has been in here, and a couple okra plants. I just put some of this straw mulch down to kind of retain some of the moisture. And then in the middle here, I had some buckwheat seed that I've used in prior years. I like to grow buckwheat because it's a really good cover crop. It stands up to the heat, and the bees love it. So I like to put that in, and that's starting to come up a little bit. Here I need to put some more, the very last of it, in to kind of make sure that it's sown densely. But this is a buckwheat cover crop. It's from Southern Exposure Seed Exchange. I do get some of the seeds, some of my cover crop seeds and some other seeds from Southern Exposure. But yeah, so today I'm just gonna sow. I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit more of this buckwheat seed in here because I want it to come up a little bit more quickly in here. And I'll rake this in just a little, just so it gets better soil contact. All right, we'll move over here. This is just another bed, and there's some more buckwheat popping up in this bed. I'm just gonna sow a little last of this buckwheat seed in here. I also like to grow fava beans as a cover crop. Right now it's a little bit too hot. I don't think they won't do that well. I need it to cool down just a little bit for fava beans. All right. And then I'll move on here. This is just another bed with more buckwheat, and a fig tree. We harvested all the figs off of this fig tree. It's doing pretty well, despite it being super hot, and I haven't been that great about watering it this year. And then last is this last bed. I sowed a little bit of buckwheat in here as well. I've harvested all the figs off of this tree. And then I I do have an Oya down here, a small one that I just periodically fill with water to make sure that it kind of stays a little bit moist. But in these beds I'm going to run all the way down the middle here, in between these trees. I'm going to use, this is mainly going to be a cover crop. Like I said, once it starts to cool down, I'll use fava beans. These beds have buckwheat, and then I'm also going to do, I have some zinnias that I got in. So I'm going to get those zinnias planted in here. And if you come over here, I'll show you kind of what I've got planned. There's two other things that I'm going to put in this fall. So these, I'm gonna plant these white Dixie butter peas, and then I'm also gonna do these zinnias. I also like Haas. They're right here in Georgia, and they have some great seeds, and they also make some really good garden implements. So, as far as tools, I have some tools from Haas that I really like. They stand up to some of the conditions out here. You know, really, they'd really take a pounding. But yeah, so that's what's next, zinnias, and then I'm gonna get these butter peas started, and that's gonna be the next project. So we'll stay. If you come visit us again, you'll see. Hopefully, we'll have some butter peas growing, and we'll also have some of these zinnias. But in the back, I have a ton of sunflower seeds that I've already started. It was the last of the Hopi Dye and the Autumn Beauties. And then I also started some catnip because we do have cats. So I have that catnip going. And then I have more tomato seeds and tomato plants in the back. And like I said, probably next week I'll show you, there'll probably be some more beds in here, and you'll see us putting in some more transplants as far as tomatoes. But if you like this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe and the like button. We'll see you soon. Adios.